emergency services in Gauteng are on high alert as the province continues to endure extreme heat. Temperatures are expected to rise to about 32 degrees today. Residents are being urged to exercise extra caution by avoiding direct exposure to the sun, as this could lead to dehydration and heat strokes. Other provinces, including the Northern Cape and Eastern Cape, have been forecasted to experience scorching heat next week. All right, let's make sense of this for you now. Joining us now from the South African Weather Service is Ishmael Moyo. He's a forecaster there and joins us via our telephone line today. Ishmael, it's great to have you on the program. Thanks very much indeed for speaking to us. So how much longer do you reckon residents in Gauteng will have to endure this heat?
Good morning, brother, and good morning to all the viewers at home. Thank you for having me. Yes, for Gauteng, as things stand now, we're not experiencing a heat wave, but temperatures are pretty high for everyone, as you have already mentioned. And these are conditions that are basically general over summer seasons, and we can expect these temperatures to kind of continue going forward. But of course, with some amount of cooling here and there towards next week and the following days as well. But for the remainder of the country, most of the province, like Northern Cape, the Free State Province, as well as the Eastern Cape, are still experiencing these heat wave conditions and are expected to experience these conditions until tomorrow, which is Monday the 16th. So as it stands, I think I might have to clarify on the definition of a heat wave,
Yeah.
which is so we expect temperatures to be at least 5 degrees higher than the average temperature of the hottest month of a specific area for at least 3 consecutive days. And this is exactly what has been seen in parts of the country where we have issued warnings for and advisories for heat wave conditions. The specification, the central parts of the Northern Cape, eastern parts of the Northern Cape, and the northwestern parts as well, the southern and central parts of the Free State, and the northern parts of the Eastern Cape as well. And the important things that you have already touched on is how to take precautionary measures against these conditions, which is avoiding direct sunlight for prolonged period of times, because this might cause dehydration. So people will need to have to hydrate themselves regularly, and also find shades where necessary, and also be in areas where there's ventilation and maybe air conditioning if it's available as well.
Right. It's interesting, that definition of what a heat wave actually is. You say the temperature needs to be 5 degrees above the average temperature on the hottest month for that specific area. What temperature would that be in Gauteng?
All right. For Pretoria, we would expect, so the threshold that we have for Pretoria is 34 degrees. So if you have 35 and above for 3 consecutive days, then you would expect that to be a heat wave. For Johannesburg, we expect temperatures that are just above 32 degrees Celsius. And then for Vereeniging, we expect temperatures that are above 33 degrees Celsius, and those are maximum temperatures.
Right. All right. Before this moment, we'd also been told to brace this year for the La Nina season. That's higher than expected rainfall for a particular period. I'm not sure if that actually did happen or whether we're now past that moment, but what's the update insofar as that particular system, especially in several parts of the country that have experienced floods, for instance?
Well, of course, we've experienced a lot of flooding in the past few months, as we have seen. And now we're in the summer season. This is a season that is known, or is very notorious for flooding, especially over the eastern parts of the country. So the seasonal forecast, as we have seen, has indicated that we can expect above average rainfall figures. And this is seasonal, so we still have to wait until the summer season is over to actually go and evaluate and see if this was spot on, or if it was on average or above average. But the rainfall figures, as things stand, can I think can align with the forecast that was addressed. And I think also going to the furthest month into the autumn season, we are still expecting above average rainfall figures as well. So nothing has changed with that regard.
All right, thanks very much indeed for speaking to us. Good to hear that we're not necessarily in the worst condition that could come about. Ishmael Moyo is a forecaster with the South African Weather Service. Once again, thanks very much indeed.